If you need USB ports for the devices you want to power in your vehicle, there are many aftermarket options available for you to DIY install in your car. I have searched hard to find and buy these 3 USB port options that are pretty good and have different but useful features. I have one that has smart features like auto power off, one that is switched, and a basic one with dual ports. I will be installing these add-on USB ports and adapter cables to add additional USB charging ports to a vehicle that doesn't have any, and also to clean up the center console of cables from the devices I want to power. This will allow me to add fast charge USB ports for charging phones and to power things like USB powered dash cams, Android Auto and CarPlay systems, and a HUDWAY Drive heads-up display. Plus, some devices have 12-volt adapters that take up the whole outlet, so I can't power anything else. Find out more about these add-on USB ports and USB adapter cables in this video, and see how I install them using fuse taps next. Frakking Creations, showing you the good stuff. Disclaimer and warnings. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Though I am an avid car enthusiast who has installed many car accessories and dash cams, I am not a professional installer. There are always risks associated with DIY car work where you can get hurt or damage property. Read our full disclaimer at the bottom of the video description before you assume all risk and attempt any kind of installation of your own. When installing anything, always consult the manuals specific to the device for precautions and specific installation steps. Smart USB adapter cable. The first USB power cable I have is the Quad-Lock USB Smart Adapter. This is a USB adapter cable with smart features that can auto power off to protect the car battery. It is typically meant to be installed directly to the battery of a motorcycle, boat, or caravan, but will work in a 12-volt vehicle as well. Note that anything installed directly to the battery will always be on and providing power, which can be good or bad. Good if I need power when the vehicle is turned off, bad because it could drain the battery if I forget to unplug anything connected to it while the vehicle is off. Luckily, this USB adapter cable has smart features that monitor the battery condition. When set to auto, it will power down the adapter when the vehicle battery drops below 12.5 volts, thereby protecting it from getting fully drained. On the other hand, I just set it to on if I need it to be always on. Quite useful. This adapter comes with a fused SAE ring terminal cable for fast, easy disconnecting and connecting if needed. Switched USB power panel. Next, I have a USB socket power panel that is switched. It has USB-A and USB-C ports with quick charge features, an additional 12-volt socket, and also a power switch. It is also supposed to be connected directly to the vehicle battery for always-on power. Though using the switch, I do have the option of turning it off when I don't need it. Note that if left on when the vehicle is off, even when nothing is plugged in, it will still draw some power for the LED voltage readout. Basic dual USB port adapter cable. Lastly, I have the basic USB adapter cable with dual USB ports. It doesn't have smart features and does not have an on-off switch. The dual ports can output a total of 3.1 amps and is also meant to be directly connected to the battery of the vehicle for always-on power. This one comes with a fused SAE ring terminal cable that is detachable. Installing USB port in car. Where to get power. For these 3 add-on USB ports, they are typically meant to be installed directly to the vehicle battery. I'm going to take a different approach and install it using fuse taps. It's not the ideal installation, but does make it easier and provides at least 2 options for how I want to use these add-on USB ports: always on or ignition switched. When using fuse taps, I will be tapping into vehicle power at the fuse box of the vehicle. There are at least 2 different types of fuse slots. There are BAT and ACC type fuse slots. BAT fuse slots are always on even when the vehicle is turned off, and ACC fuse slots are only on and provide power when the vehicle is in ACC or on mode. By determining how I want to use these add-on USB ports, I can decide to tap into a fuse slot with either BAT or ACC power. Find out more on this and how I properly use fuse taps and dual fuse taps to hardwire things to vehicles in our other video. For my purposes, I will connect the smart USB adapter cable to BAT since it has the auto, on, and off switch. For the switched USB power panel, I will be connecting it to ACC since I want it to power off when the vehicle is turned off. I also don't want parasitic drain from the LED when the vehicle is off and I forget to turn the switch off. For the basic dual USB adapter cable, I will also power it through ACC. Once I have found the fuse slot I want to use for my add-on USB port, I will connect the appropriate fuse tap to the positive or red power cable of the add-on. First, I cut off the red positive ring terminal, then strip the cable. Next, I connect the fuse tap to the stripped cable end. I can use the supplied crimp connector, but instead, I like to use these German-made high-quality inline connectors. Insert both cable ends fully and snap closed. I always do a good sturdy pull test to make sure the cables are secure. Similarly, the USB power panel is prepped in the same way. Note that in this example, I attached a dual fuse tap. I can power a second device if both are going to be powered similarly, whether it is through BAT or ACC power. To add the fuses, the bottom fuse is the fuse from the original circuit in the fuse box, and the top fuses will be for the add-on circuits. All these USB port and USB socket add-ons were meant to be connected directly to the vehicle battery, and so they already have appropriate fuses in line. I just matched the fuse for the fuse tap to the respective inline fuses. After adding the appropriate fuses to the fuse taps, I check everything to make sure there are no exposed wiring or metal from any of the cables, adapters, or connectors, which could cause a short circuit. Next, I need to test that the add-on USB ports and sockets work before I start routing cables and drilling through panels. With the vehicle turned off, I connect the negative or black ground cable of the add-on to the nearest grounding bolt. Then I connect the fuse tap to the fuse slot I chose to use and test. If the add-on is connected to BAT, it should have power even when the vehicle is turned off. If connected to ACC, it will turn on once the vehicle is in ACC or on mode. The good thing about this install is that I can always easily change any of these to either BAT or ACC power. I just have to turn the vehicle off and move the fuse tap accordingly to BAT or ACC. I also have to make sure to move the original bottom fuse from the fuse tap back to the fuse slot it came from. By the way, if you are watching our video embedded on someone else's website but want to support our work, launch our video in YouTube and use our links in the description to purchase the products we show, use, or recommend. It will allow us to continue to provide the great quality videos you enjoy. Installing USB port in car. Add-on USB power panel. I removed the fuse tap and ground of the power panel so that I can install it to the vehicle trim. To install the USB power panel, I have to find a place that is not obstructed, is easy to access, and safe. It would also require the back to be free of obstructions. In some cases, it may be possible to remove the original 12-volt socket and replace it with a USB port like this since it is tubular and can be made to fit. Single port add-ons like this are also available for purchase with and without power switches. Find links to these and all the USB port add-ons in the video description below. I will be installing the USB power panel in the front passenger footwell for hidden but easy access. I will not install it in the driver's side footwell as any cabling in this area can be a safety hazard. Before I remove the cables from the pods, I will take a picture for a reference. Also, I know how each cable is connected and where the red positive and black negative cables are connected so that I can reassemble the wiring correctly. I remove each pod so that I can use the frame as a template. I tape the area with masking tape. I then position the panel, making sure the backside is also clear for cutting and not part of any important or structural components. I trace all the holes to drill out. I drill the holes for the pods using a step drill bit, but because I don't have a large enough drill bit, I am improvising and using these snips to cut the rest of the hole out. Test fit and adjust if necessary. Next, I drill out the mounting holes. Remove the masking tape and clean. Note that the pods can be moved around as I like, but I have to make sure to reconnect the wiring correctly to match the new arrangement. Reinstall the pods to the frame and secure to the panel using the supplied screws. Then attach the retaining nuts, making sure they are snug. Then I reattach the cabling, ensuring the polarities are correct and the sleeves are covering all exposed metal. This panel is now ready for reinstalling in the vehicle. Installing USB port in car. Add on USB adapter cables. For the smart USB adapter cable, the adapter switch module can be secured somewhere that is safe or just hidden away but easy to access. As for its USB port plug, it can also be stored away in a compartment for easy access and use. For the basic dual USB adapter cable, the USB port module can be attached to vehicle paneling anywhere safe or hidden away and easy to access. Installing USB port in car. Final cleanup. Once the add-ons are installed, I route the cabling safely away from airbags, pedals, and such, then install the ground cable and fuse tabs as I did earlier when testing. I make sure the fuse tabs are all snug and won't come loose. With everything installed in the vehicle, I have to make sure any excess and loose cabling is bundled up and secured by using zip ties. I also have to make sure not to exceed the power ratings for all these add-ons as per the manuals. That's all there is to it. Now I have additional USB ports and another 12-volt socket to power what I want. I can fast charge my phone, run the HUDWAY Drive heads-up display, dash cams, and more with USB power. Additionally, it doesn't have to take up the 12-volt socket or clutter the center console with cables. Let us know in the comments if this video is useful. As always, like and share the video with anyone else that would enjoy it too. Subscribe for more good stuff to come.